Swing, high fly ball toward right. Springer going back to the track, to the wall. That ball is gone. We are tied.
In the 2023 Major League Baseball season, there have been a lot of pleasant surprises, and also quite a few disappointments from the players. It doesn't mean they're bad though. It means that they're just playing poorly right now. Let's check out some of the MLB players that haven't performed so well in the 2023 season so far. Who do you think's gonna make the list for the most disappointing players in the 2023 season? Well, these are our 5 picks. Jose Abreu of the Houston Astros.
There should be a real conversation maybe about Jose Abreu and whether or not you start to think about moving him down in the lineup. He's hitting .235, you have to hit a home run, power numbers aren't there. There's probably a legit conversation we could have, and Astros fans I know are having, about the status of Abreu remaining in the cleanup spot.
We're gonna start with Jose Abreu in the 5th spot. The 36-year-old has always been an impactful player and a powerful beast, so many fans were curious to see how he'd do against a good Astros team. But his stay with the Astros, on the other hand, has been a disaster. At the time of this recording, Abreu just hit .223 with 2 home runs and 26 RBI over 60 games. The new Astro is among the league's worst in both OPS and extra base hits. One may argue that Abreu is pushing at the plate or has difficulty picking up pitches at the plate based on his swing and miss percentages against breaking balls. But if Abreu was making strong contact but striking out more, his average and home run totals would be less worrying. Jose Abreu just got old in front of our eyes, and he's having the worst season of his career. It's not even close to something to have to keep an eye out for. But yeah, he's definitely disappointing, and he's been a slow starter in his career. It'd be nice if he could pick it up for the Houston Astros. Next up is Max Scherzer of the New York Mets.
1-1 to Albert, who has 23 career home runs against the Mets, 23 of his 600.
Scherzer's done. Scherzer's done, by the way. Yeah. Can't go any further.
I'm done, he said.
Yeah, I'm done.
What about Max Scherzer? He hasn't started so great. Is it the rule changes in the MLB that made him get on this list? Whatever his problem is, this is not the same Scherzer we saw in the 2022 season. He's not been as good in this year's season as he was in the last, though he didn't end the year strong last season either. But overall, it was a great year for sure. This year has been a nightmare. He was struggling between the suspension, injuries, and his poor performances. Check out what we mean by saying he's having a bad season.
Max, what did you struggle with overall tonight?
I mean, this is simple. I struggle with my slider. Every time I was throwing my slider, it was hanging. I wasn't executing it the way I need to.
This is by far the worst Max Scherzer has ever pitched in his career. We don't know when it's going to turn out well for him. The last time we watched Scherzer pitch, he was getting slammed by the Detroit Tigers, which is never a good thing. Let's hope he can come back to his form, since the Mets need him to be successful this season. But Scherzer has been a disappointment so far. Next up is Alek Manoah of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Coaches always talk about it. Tyler O'Neill gives one a ride, deep right center field, and it is out of here.
In the minor leagues, Alek Manoah pitched just 35 innings before being called up to the major leagues. And immediately, he started making a significant impact. He finished 3rd in the 2022 AL Cy Young vote, and even got a few votes for AL MVP. Alek Manoah began the 2023 season still as a Toronto Blue Jay. Many fans had high hopes that their ace starter would be able to lead the team to many victories and success this year. Unfortunately, it turned out to be a nightmare start to the season, as he struggled the most in the Jays' 5-man rotation, ranking last among them in multiple pitching categories. He's been completely different during his 3rd season in the majors, where he ranks among the worst statistical pitchers. On the 5th of June 2023, Manoah led the majors in walks, issuing 42 in 13 starts, compared with 51 all of last year. And his struggles have prompted the Blue Jays to send him down to the Florida Complex League formerly known as the Gulf Coast League, which is regarded as one of the lowest levels of minor league baseball. He did have a solid April, with a .383 ERA in 5 starts, but endured a nightmarish May, never making it out of the 5th inning in each of his 6 starts. His May performances carried into June, where it took only 1 start for the Blue Jays to send him down to the minors. You shouldn't be surprised to see him on this list. He's not been striking anybody out. His strikeout rate is 16.6, and he has a career-high walk rate of 13.1. Everybody's been crushing balls off him. He's not getting any swings and misses, and he's walking more batters. We hope he figures things out for himself, since he is on a good team. We believe this team has high hopes of winning a World Series this year. So they need Alek Manoah to step up his game and maybe call him back to the team. Last on the list is Trea Turner of the Philadelphia Phillies.
If I'm the fastest person in baseball, cool. If I'm not, so be it. I'm going to try to, take those extra bases and steal as many bags as I can for my team.
Remember when Trea Turner was arguably the most talented hitter in the World Baseball Classic, hitting 5 home runs in 6 games? This led everyone to believe that the $300 million man was, at worst, a top 5 candidate to be named NL MVP. He was also a big part of why the United States won the tournament, and his presence made the team even more formidable. But in his current team, the Philadelphia Phillies, he's been disappointing. So far, in the Philadelphia half of his career, he's only equaled those 5 home runs and has the poorest batting average at .240 and on-base percentage at .285 of his career. He's also been hampered by injuries, including a calf strain that cost him a month of the season, as well as a lack of consistent playing time in a crowded stadium. As a result, his production has suffered, and he's not been able to replicate his past successes with the Phillies. Turner has also been a mess on defense, already committing 7 errors, putting him well on pace for a career worst in that department. Let's put it simply, Trea Turner needs to do better. That's it. When he's doing well, Turner is a game-changing player in many different ways with his power and speed combination. The Phillies have yet to see that player in their team, and they're just hoping for him to get back in shape. So guys, of all these players listed, which do you think should or shouldn't be on this list? I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. If you enjoyed this kind of content, then make sure you drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And thank you for watching. See you next time.